Hey, what is going on? Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you guys are already having a great holiday season. So, this is a little impromptu video I wanted to do for you guys. I was provided a checklist for 2024 Fleer Ultra Matriarchs. For some reason, they didn't release it to the distributors or whatever. Um, but the person that I got this from got it directly from Upper Deck. So we're going to go over the checklist here. If you guys have questions in the chat, go ahead, put those in there. We're going to go through the first 100 base cards so you can see which characters are out there. I'm sure you guys have already seen plenty of breaks. We're not going to do any of the image stuff today. Just go watch some of the breaks. Hopefully, when I'm home, January 1st through the 6th, I'll be able to get some of this broken for you as well. But we're going to talk about the first 100 characters that are on the checklist. Then we're going to kind of go over what parallels are in here and some other information that I heard today on a different live stream. So let's go ahead and start right off the bat with our first 100. We're just going to go 1 through 100 kind of quickly here. We got Medusa, Photon, Jubilee, Nimorita, Lady Loki, Storm, Moonstone, Enchantress, Rogue, Ghost Spider, Echo, Mystique, Black Widow, Kitty Pryde, Miss Marvel, Lady Deathstrike, Gamora, Calypso, Jessica Jones, and Shuri for the first 20. Carolina Dean, Captain Marvel, Miss America, Hela, X-23, Molly Hayes, Wave, Arrow, Hawkeye, Death rounds out the top 30. Again, this is an all-female base set. There are some male characters in one of the insert sets. That rounds out our top 30. If your guys' character shows up in here, just pop that in the chat who your character is that you're going to be going for after this or from this set. 31, we got Scream. Gertrude Yorks made the set. Cersei, Misty Knight, Elektra, Mirage, also Danny Moonstone for Matt Fuller. So Mirage fills that Danny Moonstone kind of spot there. We got Aurora, Nico Minoru, Elsa Bloodstone, Destiny, Titania, Marina, Wasp, Talisman, Valkyrie, Crystal, Mighty Thor, friend Dan. He's going to be happy about that one. Or not, because he's going to have to go out their parallels and all that stuff too. We got Venus, Clea, rounding up top 50 is Pixie. All right, so not a lot of really big characters there in the first section. There's a few in there, but when you're talking 100 female characters, now you're going really deep down into the character hole. Colleen Wing, Ryan says, yeah, man. I might have something for you. I was in a break yesterday. I think I had a Colleen Wing of something. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I was only looking for Domino, really. I'll talk to you guys about how that break was structured too, and we'll talk a little bit about how these breaks are being structured, so you guys can kind of keep an eye on that. So we rounded up top 50. Really hope she gets some sketches in this product for Colleen Wing. Well, hopefully, man. I hope you can find one out there. I'm sure somebody did one for her. We got Silver Sable, Dagger, Jennifer Kale, Hellcat, Ghost Rider, Lilith, Madeline Pryor, Black Cat. That's very nice. The art on the Black Cat is amazing. Satana, Scarlet Witch, Nebula, Psylocke, Emma Frost. So you can see we got quite a few bigger characters here in this this back 50 here. Emma Frost, Karen Page, She-Hulk, Mary Jane Watson, Spider-Woman. We got Jean Grey, Songbird, Tigra, Mockingbird, Persuasion. There you go. Card number 73, Colleen Wing for you, Ryan. Arachne, Dark Phoenix, Tarantula, Gwen Stacy, Mara McTaggart. So we already got, we're getting some of these Spider-Verse characters are coming in here. We got Firestar, Polaris, Silk, Dazzler, Topaz, Marvel Girl, Spiral, Magic, Squirrel Girl, shout out Tim, Gwenpool, Lords, Chantel, Dr. Cecilia Reyes, Maria Hill, Karma, my girl Domino's card number 93, Hope Summers, Deathbird, Mantis, Yellow Jacket, Moondragon, Quasar, and rounding out Morgan Le Fay for the top 100. So there's our 100. Did you guys find your character in there? And Ryan, Colleen is 73. I had the 3 spot on a Digibreak yesterday, so I probably have a couple Colleen Wings I can send you. I don't, maybe an insert or a parallel or something like that. But when that package comes in and I get home, I'll check it out and I'll reach out to you. Domino's in here. She's got the base card. She's also got one insert card. So for me, I don't have a whole lot to chase in this. Um, I'm pretty happy with the layout of the first 100 or of the base set itself as far as the characters they chose. Obviously, you're going to have some deep cuts that like people are like, "Who the hell's this?" I get that. I mean, it's hard for them to do a 100 card set when you're talking mixing males and females, to let alone go down to a solely female set. Now you have to add, at least 50 more characters on top of that, even if your normal sets are split 50-50. But solid base set. I've I've watched 4 cases now broken of this, and it's absolutely amazing the art that's on these cards, guys. There's very few that aren't very good. Um, yeah, will do, Ryan. There's very few art pieces that I didn't particularly care for, but I think overall, the 100 base cards being original art and it's all female artists that did the work on the set for the 100 base set as well is pretty amazing. Um, so the break I was in yesterday, it was a 2 box flex digi break. And how they did that was all 10 participants, because you got digis are just 0 through 9. Hey Jeremiah, how's it going, man? Um, so all 10 people that bought a spot in that 2 box flex digi break, in the order that they bought their spots, got to pick a character. So, somebody might have picked Ghost Spider first or whatever. I was, I think, fourth. I picked Domino, obviously, because why wouldn't I? It doesn't make sense not to. So all 10 get to pick a character. Um, so there's 10 characters gone right off the bat. And then they spin to figure out who's getting what numbers, essentially. And I ended up getting the 3 spot too. So I picked Domino and I got the 3 spot. So I got all the cards that ended with the number 3, plus I got Domino. So if I would have landed on the 4 spot, I would have got Domino plus all the 4 spots. Now, where the risk comes into that type of break is if you're going after a specific character. So, like, say I go for the 3 spot or I go for Domino, I get that. I hit the 4 spot, but 5 of the other people took characters out of the 4 spot. Well, now I lose, 4 of my characters out of the 4 spot that I could potentially hit. So there's some risk in that type of break, but it's nice because you get at least one character that you know that you want to get. As we go through this and look at the parallels and stuff, you guys will see that there's a lot of these characters they don't have a lot of anything besides space and the parallels. They may not be in the insert sets, or they only have one card in the insert set. For that break that I was in, Ryan, it was $48 per spot. So his total was 480 on 10 spots. His cost was probably 180 a box. He made, 120 before fees on the break, which that's pretty common going rate for that type of break. I think a case is right around 1800 dollars. There's 10 boxes in a case, maybe, or is it 12? If it's 10 boxes, it's like 1790, 1800. If it's 12, then obviously you're looking like 2100 for a case, whatever David Adams has that at right now. If you can get a shop that maybe gives you a little bit of a deal, you can probably get a little bit lower price on that. But just seeing some of the spots that character breaks were going for tonight, and then seeing this checklist, I was like, there's absolutely no way those spots should be going for that much based on what characters have. I'll use Domino as an example. Domino has a base card plus all of her parallels, and she has an ultra abilities. Domino spots tonight were going 55, 60, $68. There's no way I would be paying $60 for a spot for Domino in a break if that's all I had a chance at getting was base cards, potential parallels, and maybe an ultra ability of her. I would much rather go after that digi break where I can pick my character and get a number where I'm going to probably get a tenth of whatever the break is. So just weigh your options when you're looking at the different breaks that are out there, obviously, and gamble responsibly, because when you're doing breaking, that's clearly all we're doing is we're gambling, hoping that we hit our cards. Let's talk about parallels, though. We went over the first 100. We got blue foil parallels. Those are not serial numbered. Those are essentially the equivalent of the greens from the Flair Ultra Wolverine and the Flair Ultra Avengers. Jeremiah says, not familiar with the term digibreak. Are those physically shipped cards? Yes. Digibreak is short for digital break. So you see here these cards 1 through 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 11 through 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. If you get a randomizer or whatever it is and you're in a digi break, you're going to get any of the cards that end in whatever digit you have. So like I had the 3 spot in that particular break. So every card that ends in a 3, 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, et cetera, I'm going to get that card, regardless of what the character is. With the exception of the break I was in, if the 3 spot was a character that got picked as part of the flex option, right? So if somebody else had the 3 spot and I picked Domino, they obviously wouldn't get Domino because I have Domino as my flex character. So there's different ways people do it. I just thought that was a nice, fun way to do the digital break because you got to pick at least one character that you wanted, plus you got whatever spot you landed on. So it made it a little bit of fun. It provided an element of the character break with the digital break, so you're getting more cards for your money essentially. When you're talking a true character break of this product, if you buy one character, so if I buy Domino at $60 and all she has is a base card and parallels and an ultra abilities, and that's all I can get. And I think, and this isn't to critique anybody's way that they set their breakup, but there's some people they break out the insert sets too. So like for Domino on a break I was watching tonight, ultra abilities was a separate spot. So all I'd be able to get for Domino was her base cards and her parallels. So there's no way I would pay $50, $60 for a Domino spot if all I had a shot at getting was base cards and parallels. I can't get her ultra abilities card, and that's the only other card she has in the set. So I have to hit, if I'm thinking about it from a perspective of making my money back, I have to hit a serious serial numbered card to get my money back for Domino, right? Otherwise, I'm just throwing money away. But in the Digi Break, where I got to pick Domino and I get the other character or the other numbers, so in my break I was spot 3, plus I get the other 3 spot cards, so I'm getting more bang for my buck. I mean, I had a stack of cards probably about as tall as my hand is wide, that I got out of my break. But if I would have bought into any of those other cases that I saw opened in the Domino spot, where the spots were going 50 to $60, I would have been lucky to get 3 cards. And they mostly would have been base cards because I don't think I saw a single parallel of her pulled in the 3 cases that I watched. So just keep that in mind when you're doing breaks. Blue foil. That is essentially, like we said earlier, the equivalent of the green parallels from Flare Ultra Avengers and Flare Ultra Wolverine. They did blue in the All Lady set. So those are not serial numbered. All 100 base cards have that. Silver Spectrum foil, not serial numbered. The rainbow foiling on these look amazing. It's very sleek design on the card, much like it is minimalistic on the Midnight Suns. It's not the same framework. It's a little bit different, but it doesn't take away from any of the art other than one of the parallels, which we're going to talk about here in a second. They're all very easily identifiable. Yeah, you got to really look at what the breakers rules are and then what your goal and objective is and what you're trying to accomplish for sure. Swish, what's up, man? Merry Christmas Eve to you based on where you're at. For me, it is technically Christmas Day now. I am in the middle of Missouri between Kansas City and St. Louis. Headed my direction. I'm going to be headed to Pennsylvania tomorrow. So, but Merry Christmas to all of you. Chilling like a Christmas villain. There you go. Hopefully you're not pulling the Grinch and stealing everybody's presents tonight. Let's see. Silver Spectre foil. Again, those look great. We're not going to do any image stuff. We're just going to talk about what we got going on here. So any questions you guys have, I can see chat and the checklist. So go ahead, pop those in there. We're going to go through all of this stuff, and then we're going to sort it by characters. So then we can take a look at what every single character has if you guys have specific requests for that. So Black foil parallel, numbered out of 194. Okay, black foil parallel is probably the hardest one to tell. It's going to be in the third card in the pack. So you'll have a base card, maybe another base card or a silver, and then you'll probably have a black if you have a black. It's numbered to 194. It doesn't shine very much. It looks, at first glance, it looks a lot like the base cards from what I saw. But just remember, if it's in that third or fourth spot, it's probably a black if it looks like a base card. Just flip it over and take a look. So out of 194. Now, Upper Deck Billy was on an Instagram stream I was watching earlier today where Keith Boyles broke a case of this product. And he talked a little bit about the set itself, the serial numbering. He said the last two serial numbers on the cards reflect something as far as a key comic book for different female characters in the Marvel Universe. He didn't say which ones went to which characters. All he said, to give you kind of a hint, is that the coloring corresponds to the character, which corresponds to the number. I don't know when Ghost Spider came out, but let's just say, as an example, 1994 was the year. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think it is. I think that's too early. I think she came out in the 2000s. I'm pretty sure of that. Let's say it was her, though. 1994, black, Ghost Spider. Okay, there you go. There's your pair, right? So the color goes to the character, and the serial number goes to the character, and whatever key issue is for that character. So a little bit of treasure hunting there if you guys are interested in trying to figure that out. So we got the black foil parallel again. All 100 cards have that. Out of 129, we got the light blue foil parallel. It's a lighter blue than what the what the blue parallel is. So not much to that other than it's a lighter color. Out of 129. We have a green foil autograph. These are all out of 80. Um, so all the artists, they all have 80 signatures on their individual cards. You can see here we have the artists listed. We're not going to go over all the artists, and I'm not going to be able to say all their names right, but we got Erica de Urso, Kelly McMorris, Ali Presswick, Anna Moshak, Liddy Lee is obviously in here, Nina Chung. I'm going to skip a few of these, but there's a whole bunch of really nice artists in here. And like I said, I loved pretty much all the art that was in this set. Now, Liddy did do the domino art, so that is going to make that a little harder for me to kind of get some of those shorter print serial number cards just because of who the artist is. It'll probably add some additional value to. Um, out of 94 is Black Cat. Keith, thanks, man. Appreciate you. So Keith is, if you guys aren't following Keith, I Want More Comics, go follow him. I'll pop him up there on the screen real quick. Go follow him on Instagram. Oh, this one here. Go follow him on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. He's got a great shop. I was in your shop one time, Keith. Couple NHL playoffs ago when Colorado was playing Seattle. Me and my friend Jeff drove out from Utah. You weren't there, so we met up with Izzy, but you were out of the shop at the point in time that we came by. But yeah, Billy was saying that the books all correspond with, or the serial numbering correspond with the character, which corresponds with the color on that. If anybody pulls 19 out of 80 for Domino, hit me up. My birth year is 1980, and I would love to have the Domino autograph 19 out of 80. That's the one that I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, man, there's so many. The art looks so good. So, Rodini, what's going on? Free Comics, welcome in, welcome in. So we got the green foil autos out of 80. We get the orange foil out of 52. Again, the foiling looks fantastic on majority of these. And Keith mentioned this in the cases or the products that he broke that I watched. The blacks are really hard to kind of differentiate until you just learn that they're in the middle of the pack. We got the purple foil out of 13. Saw Lewis pulled an out of 13 Magic tonight, so that was really cool to see. Everybody in chat saying Merry Christmas, hello. So purple out of 13. And then we get into the red foil out of 4. So they got an out of 4 parallel, where typically we'd see that like an out of 5. And then, of course, we're going to have the 101 gold spectrum foils. Haven't seen any of those pulled yet. Now, the product has seemed pretty loaded. And part of that, on Keith's Instagram stream when he was ripping earlier, like I said, Upper Deck Billy jumped in there and he talked a little bit about the layout of the set. The set was potentially on, and I'm paraphrasing here. And Keith, if you're still watching, if I speak out of context with what Billy was kind of saying, just correct me in the chat there. But to me, it sounded like he was saying that the set was potentially on the chopping block, that they weren't sure if they were going to be able to put it out, because of some of the negotiation stuff that was going on with the license transfer. However, the set ultimately it got released, but they weren't able to do the EPAC portion of the set. So they had some other inserts and stuff that they had to cut from the set, but they also took some of those EPAC parallels and achievements and put them into the set. So we have some inserts, some color parallels that got put into the product that otherwise would have been EPAC exclusives. And then that now seems to have, um, I guess, loaded the boxes is the way to put that. It's amplified the number of inserts and serial numbered cards you're getting out of the boxes. So keep that in mind when you're seeing the breaks too. I think we've been seeing on average like 2 sketches a case, quite a few numbered quite a few numbered medallions per case. I know Keith hit almost every single different version of a numbered medallion out of his case that you could possibly hit, other than the black opal. So quite a few of them in there. Um, all with the production get done? Can it get printed in time? Yeah, man. If they can get it printed in time, that was the biggest thing, right? Because I know a lot of this stuff they work on these sets for a couple years usually. They're not usually something that even 92 masterpieces. They said they've been working on that set for a couple years now. So I mean, this stuff gets worked on for quite a bit. But stuff does get missed. And of course, we got the printing plates. There's 4 of each of those. All your basic colors: the black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. Now they're obviously not EPAC achievements. Lewis did pull a plate tonight, so they do come just as solo plates. So if you're a character collector and you want all 4, you got to go get all 4. Um, the Titian medallions would have been combines now out of 75. There you go. So Hobby Archival's got some additional info for us there. I think that's Keith's other channel, maybe. Keith, I don't. Is that Keith? Is that you? Is that your other channel? Or am I not correct on that? I might not be correct on that. All right, 3x3 connected images. This is me, Keith. Hi, Keith. This is me, Nathan. There are 3 different 3x3 puzzles by 3 different artists. I know, and the artists aren't listed on here. Keith has a ton of them as far as like what he pulled from his case. They're not super rare, but they're not like every pack sort of situation either. So there's 3 different 3x3 puzzles, which are by 3 different artists. Upper Deck Billy said, if you take all 27 pieces, flip them over, the 3 puzzles then create a big 3x9 27 card puzzle, as well on the back of the cards. So that would be really cool to see somebody put that together and to be able to see what image is actually there. I know a lot of the pieces that Keith was pulling tonight or earlier today were a lot of like blacked out like background portions of the image on the back puzzle. So okay, so we have A forces. So one of the inserts in the set, we have the A Force. 20 cards in that insert set. You got Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Nico, Lady Loki, America Chavez, Dazzler, Singularity, Medusa, Lady Sif, Valkyrie, Gamora, Storm, Nimorita, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Jubilee, Elektra, Singularity again, Nico Manura, and Singularity again. Now, keep in mind, upper deck checklists don't always match up with what's actually in the set, right? Because sometimes the checklist is developed ahead of time, and then then the product gets released and some changes happened. So you see, I think kind of like 3 singularities there. that may or may not be completely accurate. I would lean towards right now until you see otherwise that it probably is accurate. So it's okay. Singularity, it's death. Okay, wonderful. There you go. 3x3, two per box. Peach Momoko, Clara Tessier. Let me get that popped up so you guys can see that. Elizabeth Torque. We had 22 of the 27, and that's out of one case, correct, Keith? And Death is the character on the back. So that's awesome because we haven't really seen Death in much of anything. Um, so it's nice to see that she's getting some publicity there. 11 out of the 12 boxes, yeah, because you had one that was like a pre-order box or something like that. So it's very possible that in a case you might be able to get the entire puzzle set. So singularities or the A forces are not serial numbered. Doesn't look like they have a serial numbered version of those either. So like the Z forces, we had different uh, parallel versions. That may have, I'm speculating here, that may have been something that they cut out because they might not have had enough time to print everything to get it out to distribution. We get the better halves. So these are die cut cards. You got male, female, better halves, right? So you got Hulk and Betty Ross. That's a pair. That's two separate cards. They pair up, and it says on the back of the card who they pair up with. Beast and Dazzler, Cyclops and Jean Grey, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, Hawkeye and Mockingbird, Quasar and Moondragon, Spider-Man and Mary Jane Watson Parker, because you have to have a Spider-Man in a set for some reason. Havoc, Polaris, Black Panther, Storm, Vision, and Scarlet Witch. So some great pairings there. Um, they're kind of cool. I'm not a huge fan of the die cut cards in that particular format. To me, it kind of goes back to like the chess pieces. It's a little wonky on the design aspect of things, I think. But there are some really nice die cuts in um, other sets that are out there too. I'm not a big fan of the die cuts and the thick stock cards. It's not my favorite thing. But somebody out there, this is their favorite insert in the set, and that's great. I'm happy for them. For me, it's not my thing, but that's okay. Okay, so we got collectible covers. Looks like we got 9 in the collectible covers. So these are all different characters here with different comic book covers that relate to them. We got Photon, She-Hulk, Mary Jane Watson, Kitty Pryde, Storm, Daughters of the Dragon, Captain Marvel, Mystique, and Black Panther. So those are the 9 collectible covers. So again, if you're in a break and it's being broken out as an insert, those are the only 9 cards you can possibly hit for that position. Now, I don't know how many are in a case. I didn't see a ton of them pulled from the cases. But when I'm driving and I'm just listening to the breaks, I don't really get to see everything that comes out. Usually I'm like missing stuff if I'm dealing with traffic or something like that. We get connected cuts. Now, Keith, I don't think I've seen any of these anywhere yet. Now, just the name alone in my head triggers some sort of booklet, or it's something to do with different characters being on a cut somehow. But these are serial numbered out of 10. And we start here at row 1150 and we go down to row 1174. So it looks like we got 24, 25 different connected cuts that are out of 10. Connected are out of 10, booklet or dual cut. Yep, that's, and see, a lot of times just the name of the insert itself lets you know what something really is. So past and future versions. There we go. All right, so for our connected cuts, Ryan, you got a Colleen Wing in here, so something else we can look for out of 10. We got Enchantress, Black Cat, Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Colleen Wing, Dazzler, Mirage, Elektra, Emma Frost, Firestar, Gwen Stacy, Gamora, Spider Woman, Jean Grey, Mary Jane Watson, Misty Knight, Photon, Polaris, Rogue, Mystique, Storm, Shadowcat, She-Hulk, Scarlet Witch, and Wasp. Uh, Essential Issues comic cuts. These are just your normal run-of-the-mill. That's not a good phrase. Normal everyday comic cuts, the cuts that you normally get in a set. Different serial numbering. We got out of 50s, out of 65s, out of 35s. So different levels of serial numbering there. X-Men number 1, 1963. Look at the issue. Insane list. The Jean. All right, Jean Grey. Yes, X-Men 1963 number one and X-Men 2019 number one. So there you go. So in the description right there, you're going to get Jean Grey. If you got her, you're going to get X-Men 1963 and X-Men 2019 on that comic cut or booklet style. Yeah, I think if you're doing out of tens, you kind of have to use great books for that sort of stuff. And then you got the essential cuts. I think Lewis pulled one tonight. It was Spider-Man getting married. So that was one of the ones that he pulled tonight. But again, you got a nice list of characters here that are in here. We'll sort by character, and if you guys have specific ones you want to see what all that character has, just let me know, and we'll kind of go through them that way. But quite a few different essential cuts there. Let's get on to our next one. We got the Fleer Ultra Pop Cultures. Okay, Fleer Ultra Wolverine started the pop cultures. Lower serial numbers were, or lower numbered ones were easier to find. Higher numbered ones were SP and SSP. That is not the case with this set. They don't. The SP and SSPs don't go in order of the number. It goes by character. Storm is an SSP numbered 1 through 4. You get 4 versions of the character again. Black Widow is an SP. Captain Marvel is an SP. She-Hulk is an SP. Regulars, you got Enchantress, Hela, Gamora. You got Scarlet Witch is an SSP. Psylocke is regular. Mystique is an SP. Spectrum is regular. So you have 44 total cards in the pop culture set, which means you have 11 different characters. No serial numbered versions this time. So, like last time with Ultra Wolverine, we had serial numbered versions of them. We don't have serial numbered versions of them this time. And keep in mind, the higher number does not mean it's more rare. You got to go by the characters. Fully equipped metal cards, much like the Planet Metals from like Spider-Man Metal, uh, Avengers Metal, those ones, it's the same kind of material. It's an actual metal card, comes sleeved in the pack. You've got 20 cards in that set as well. No serial numbered versions there. So again, when you're looking at doing breaks, keep in mind what you could potentially get. Keith, I'm not sure how you're setting your character break up if you're breaking out specific inserts or if you're taking inserts and putting them with the characters and then having a spot for like all the residuals that don't have a base card as well. Because I know people break, there's some breakers that break the inserts completely away from the base set. And then there's others that the insert character goes to the base set character and then they have something for all the extra stuff. Genetics, that's a really cool looking insert set. If you get a chance to see those, definitely check them out. Now this one's a little different. So you got Psylocke and Captain Britain, X-23 and Wolverine, Scarlet Witch with Wiccan and Speed, Aurora and North Star. You got a nice mix here. So the females with their other counterparts. It's not necessarily a male because here you got Crystal and Medusa. So it just depends on what that person's relationship is in the comic books with other characters. You got Jean Grey and Rachel Summers. Some nice mix there. Yeah, I know you said you were getting ready to build that out. So guys, if you're not already following I Want More Comics, he's commenting his hobby archival in the chat, but I Want More Comics on Instagram, um, and on Whatnot. That is where you can kind of see his breaks and everything like that. So, genetics, 18 card set there. Medallions. Okay, medallions, we have a 50 card set. Lots of different serial number variations. The base medallions are not silver this time. The base medallions are more of like a rubyish, pinkish kind of tone to them. I personally think they look fantastic. The coloring on the base makes the logo on the back behind the character pop a little bit more. I know some people don't like the coloring, and that's cool too. You know, not everybody likes it. Some people want. I mean, I always say just like have consistency across the set. So consistency would be the base card should be silver, right? The base medallion should be silver because then they go with the other ones. But it just looks good in this set, so I'm okay with it. And again, we'll kind of pair these characters up, but you got Dagger, Rogue, Ghost Spider, Black Widow, She-Hulk, Elsa, Bloodstone, Jessica Jones, Miss Marvel, X-23, Moonstone, Scarlet Witch. There's Black Cat, Psylocke's in there, Jubilee's in there, Elektra, Enchantress, um, Mirage is in there. Silk. Let's see. We got Agatha's in there. Cersei, Cleo, White Rabbit's in there. Squirrel Girl's in there. Shout out Tim. Mary Jane Watson, Captain Marvel. So there's a few there from the set, and then of course you got the parallels as well. Armando, what's up, man? How many cards does Wolverine have? Wolverine is on. He has claws on the Lady Deathstrike card, so he's there as part of the image, but it's just like his hand and claws. And then he is in. I haven't seen the card, but he's in the genetics for X-23 as well. For X-23, he's in the genetics number 2, X-23 and Wolverine. So that's what I know for Wolverine so far. But is primarily an all-female set, so there's clearly not going to be that many guys in the set. Gold medallions, they're still out of 200. I like that. I like that the gold medallions are out of 200 for some consistency there. I don't like that the gold medallions are out of 200. Gold we usually simplify with or kind of connect with a lower serial number, but I like that they're there. I think the foliating on them looks fantastic. We got the platinums out of 100. That's pretty consistent over the Fleer Ultra sets that have come out recently. Uh, I'm gonna not say this right. The Titan uh, medallions, those are out of 75. They were saying earlier in the chat there that those were supposed to be a combinable e-pack, and then they serial numbered them out of 75, so that way they could put them into the product. That's more of like a copperish bronze. Is that correct, Keith? That's what it kind of looked like to me. It was like a kind of like a bronzish um, color there on that. We got the ruby reds out of 50. That's pretty consistent across the different Flare Ultra sets. Purple amethyst out of 35. I think Keith, you were mentioning this earlier, where it looks more blue than it does purple. I was driving, so I couldn't comment, so I would just call it blurple if I was seeing the card, because I wouldn't have a clue either way. Um, that's what my daughter says. She says, "Just call it blurple, Dad, because your color's stupid." So we got the sapphire blue. It's a lighter blue. To me, it looks, like to me on camera, it looked like it was very rainbowy, with more blue in the rainbow than what the rainbow has. So, um, but in hand, it might look much more like a sapphire blue. We got the emerald greens out of 10. I did see a rogue emerald green out of 10 pulled yesterday in Underground 21's break on Whatnot. And then, of course, you got the opal black medallions out of the 101s. I did. I did say color stupid because I'm not color blind. Like I could see colors. I just, for me, it's shades of stuff. Like when I first joined the military, you have to do like a color test, and it's these the little color dots, and inside that you see a number. Well, I couldn't see the numbers. I think there's like 20 of them, and I got one of them right. But in the end, if you don't pass that, they go, "What are these colors?" And it's like red, blue, green, yellow. So I could see like the normal colors, but when it comes to like different shading, there's certain reds and browns I can't tell apart. There's certain blues and purples that I can't tell. My cones and rods or whatever they are. I'm not an optometrist, so whichever ones they are that like do the color stuff, I can't differentiate certain shades. So I just always said I'm color stupid, and my daughter just rolled with that, and she just calls me color stupid all the time. Anytime I can't figure out what something is. One time she goes, "Sound it out, Dad." I'm like, "Oh, shut up." um, Now this is a little bit different. That I don't think we've seen this in the previous sets, but I haven't really dug into the previous Fleer Ultra sets that much as far as their checklists go. I haven't seen medallion printing plates before. Now that may be new, that may not be new, but that's kind of cool that we're going to have printing plates for the medallions. Screen, not Scream, Screen Queens. So characters that have been in movies kind of recently, I guess. Mary Jane Watson, Elektra, you got Spectre, Mystique, Black Widow, Storm, Gamora, Jean Grey, Miss Marvel, Wasp, Mighty Thor, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Scarlet Witch, and Miss America. So you got 15 cards in the Screen Queens as well. Only as achievements from. So there you go. So there's another one. So Keith says that the medallion plates were only achievements before, so that would have been EPAC. So that's another potential EPAC exclusive thing that gets put into the set. Well, to be fair, Upper Deck has not exactly helped with their parallel color. It's not just Upper Deck. So everybody, I hear a lot of people say like Platinum. Oh, Platinum's just Topps Chrome. Upper Deck did Platinum. It's just Topps Chrome. No, Platinum is Upper Deck's Chrome product. Platinum isn't Topps Chrome. Upper Deck's primary production is hockey. They make an O-Pee-Chee Platinum set. Marvel Platinum is based off of the O-Pee-Chee Platinum set for hockey. A lot of their sets are based off of their hockey set. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these two. If you need to see, like if a new set's coming out and like if you're getting into DC and you need to see what might potentially be in a set, look at like the previous year's hockey set for that same brand, and you might be able to get an idea of what's going to come in that future product. So Screen Queens, 15 card set. Lots of different sketch card artists here. We're not going to run through all the different names. You guys can see them there, and I'll kind of go a little slower here so that way if you want to pause it later on and go back and look, you can do that. I'm going to let you know where you can get this checklist as well. I put it in a Google Drive so that way you guys can download it if you want to download it and have it for your records. But Liddy Lee is on here. Jonathan Levesque, that's Marvel Inc. He's out of Canada. Joe Marbold is in here. Paul Hill. So I'm just naming off some of these ones that are Mentalcon artists here. Rhiannon Owens, Rusco Limicinero, Saldahanio. That's Jason Saldahanio. He is a Mentalcon artist from last year as well. So a bunch of different sketch card artists there. And of course, we don't get to know, it doesn't tell us how many each one did. Each one did different ones. Ultra Abilities, there's 20 different Ultra Abilities cards. These look fantastic. They're thin stock, so they're only like I think it's like 20-point card stock. Everything else is like an 80-point card stock. Scarlet Witch, Rogue, Mystique, Medusa, Photon, Vision, Spider-Woman, Stature, Husk. So that's as far as I can tell, that's the only Husk card. Penance, She-Hulk, Wasp, Songbird, Jessica Jones, Storm, Black Widow, Moonstone, Emma Frost, Psylocke, and Domino. So again, Domino with the base card, Domino with the Ultra Abilities. That's it for Domino. You don't see Perna on that list. I don't think Tony is on that list. I don't think he did cards for this set. Let's see here. So Ultra Abilities, we did that. Women of the Web die cuts. This is the kind of die cut card that I like. So this is a 20-point card. So it's the normal thickness card stock. To me, it resembles a lot of like the early mid 90s die cuts from what the hell was that set? Oh, it's got Spider-Man. He's got a web. Yeah, it's like that. It's got a web behind him. It's all die cut out. It's all like Spider-Man ladies, right? So you got Mary Jane Watson, Jessica Drew, Gwen Stacy, Mayday Parker, Ghost Spider, Squirrel Girl, or sorry, not Squirrel Girl, Spider Girl, Julia Carpenter, Liz Allen, Silk, Madam Web, Black Cat, Silver Sable, Betty Brant, Menace, and May Parker. So you got 15 cards in that die cut set, and that looks really nice. Now, these do have parallels. So there's a red parallel to that, right? So not serial numbered, just red parallel. All right, so we're on row 1950 here. So what does that mean? There's nothing else beneath this. That's it. That's the end of the checklist. So that means there are, if you don't count the variations of printing plates and you only count that as one, there are 1,950 potential cards in this set, plus the other 3 printing plates for each of the characters and the other 3 printing plates for the medallions. So that's another 300 or 450 on top of that. So like roughly 2,450 cards, 2,500 cards, 2,400 cards in the set, something like that. So let's take a look here. If we go by A to Z, oh, let me do this the right way and sort it this way. There we go. That's what I want to do. I want to expand. All right. So we have here Our characters slash artists are all by name now. Smaller checklist compared, yeah, smaller checklist doesn't necessarily mean smaller print run, but it does feel like it's a smaller print run because it doesn't seem like they added too many additional parallels compared to what has been in previous sets. We're just getting some EPAC stuff in addition to what was already in the other sets. So it's not expanding the print run much at all, especially with what I've seen come out of the boxes. You're getting quite a few hits. Let's just look at Arrow here real quick. So if we look at Arrow, Arrow runs here to here. So 4 to 15. So Arrow has a base set, blue foil, silver spectrum, black, light blue, orange, purple, red, gold. She's also got the printing plates, the green foil auto, and the essential issues comic cuts. If I'm buying Arrow and a character break, what does that mean for me? That means I get Arrow in the base set and maybe have a shot at a comic cut if the comic cut spot is not broken off. So if I'm buying Arrow in a character break set, really all I'm buying is her base card and the potential to hit any of the parallels of her base card. That's it. She doesn't have any other inserts or anything like that. Sorting your checklist this way, if you're going to go after specific characters, is a great thing to do if you're going to get into character breaks. It helps you kind of evaluate for yourself what you're potentially going to get out of that or what your chances of getting something out of that. So let's take some requests from chat. Chat, if you have any requests for specific characters in the checklist, put it up there. I'm going to go down here to Domino myself and take a look just to see and confirm what I think I already know. So I go down here, I get into Domino after I get you guys all sick from the screen going really fast. What do I have? I got all the base set stuff. I got printing plates. I have an ultra abilities, the autograph, and potentially a comic cut. So the comic cut was one that I didn't see earlier because I didn't read them all off. But X Force 1991, number 8. I have that book in a CGC 9.8. That came out before New Mutants 98. So how is it possible that that's her first appearance or that's her whatever? I think they call that a cameo because she's technically got 3 different ones because they consider New Mutants 98, but that's copycat. And then X Force 8, I believe, is cameo, but then X Force 11 is like her first full appearance as part of the team, and it gets convoluted when you're talking comic book stuff. So that's good to know that there's a comic cut in there as well, and that is serial numbered out of 35. It's not the same comic cut in all 35, right? So now I have to look at all 35 and see which ones have Domino. So there's that. This issue is first Nina Real Domino. Yes, that is correct. Yep, this is the first issue that has the Real Domino in it. Some of the people out there call it her cameo appearance. Some call yeah. I just go, it's a book. I like it. So like I bought it. So EPAC was included in physical due to the time crunch for this specific. Some of EPAC was included in this. Some of the original hobby box product was excluded, if that makes sense. So some of the stuff that was supposed to be in the hobby boxes got excluded. Some of the stuff from EPAC got included. They mashed it together, and this is the product that we ended up with. So, request here, we got Rogue and Storm and X-23. All right, let's go down here. We'll try to knock these out real quick. Get down here to Rogue. All right, Rogue has quite a few things here. So we get all the base stuff. We got a 3x3 connected image that has Rogue on it. There's also, she got the medallions. So she got all the medallions as well. The printing plate medallions, she's got an ultra abilities. She's got the autograph. She's got an essentials comic cut. She's got a connected cuts as well, which is going to get you book number 10 from 1967 Avengers Annual, X-Men 1991 number 1. She's got Uncanny X-Men 1963 number 171 for essentials comic cuts, and she's got an out of 65 from X-Men 1 1991 for Rogue. And then she's also mixed in with the genetics with Mystique as well. So not too bad for Rogue there. Yeah, jammed, just all jammed in there. Yeah. But that means we get 5 serials per box, not 2. Yep, very true, very true. This is a smaller print run because without X packs on E pack, all the inserts 1 out of 10 packs have less printed. There you go. The X-Men #1 Rogue is Jim Lee art. So there we go. Thanks, Keith. Appreciate the insights there too, man. Helps out a lot, especially since I'm not a comic book nerd. And that's not the discount comic book nerds. They are very valuable, and I love their information. I just don't retain it a lot of times because, again, I primarily focus on Domino, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, we had okay, we wanted Storm. All right, so Storm is our next request. She is down here. All right, so Storm, we're getting all the base. We're getting all the base. She's got a 3x3 image. She's got an Air Force or an A Force. She got a Better Halves die cut where she is with Black Panther is the other half of hers. She's got a Screen Queens. She got an Ultra Abilities. She got the autograph. She's got a couple different essential comic cuts. She's got a connected cut. Here you're getting Giant Size X-Men #1. That's a great one for you. Uncanny X-Men Annual 2006. And then 3 essential comic cuts for Rogue are X-Men 1975 #1, or Giant Size X-Men #1. Uncanny X-Men #170 and Uncanny X-Men #172. And then she also has a collectible covers. And then she also has the 4 pop culture cards as well. And then we wanted X-23. All right, X-23 has all the base cards. She's got a fully equipped metal card. Again, that's like the Planet Metal cards. She's got the medallion stuff. She has Essentials comic cuts, NYX2 #3. She got the autograph, genetics card with Wolverine, and that is the extent for X-23. Now, she may be in some other books or something like that, so it's potential that she shows up on a different comic cut somewhere else. So, all right. Did we have any other requests for characters here? I'm not seeing any other requests in the chat for characters. All right, guys. I'm happy to take requests and show you what else we have here if you're interested. There's quite a few here. Have we seen a large amount of cuts pulled? Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like three or four from a case, maybe. It might be 3 or 4 from a case, maybe 2. But it felt to me like there was like maybe three or 4. Yeah, cuts feel heavy 3 per case. That's what I thought I was seeing. One of the cases I saw might have only had 2, but it's probably going to be in that 2 to 4 range for what you're getting. So, but that's the checklist. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate that. If you want to download this checklist, it was provided to me. I uploaded it to my Google Drive in the description of this video. So just below where the video's at, if you hit where the title's at, there's usually like a little more button. You hit that, you go down. And that very first one, I think I wrote something along to download this checklist, and then there's a link. If you click that link, it allows you to You can make a copy of that, so that way you can have that for your records as well. And again, just click on the C column if you want to sort by alphabetical. Go to sort A to Z. Make sure whatever you do, you expand it, so that way it takes everything across all the rows and sorts it that way. And that's how you can sort by character. So otherwise, it'll show up in the original format of just in the order of the set itself. So, thanks, Keith. Appreciate that, man. So yeah, I'm really digging this. I'm gonna definitely pick up some boxes to open. Um, Planning on I'll be home January 1 through 6. Planning on January 4th. It's a Saturday. I think that's the best day because I got a bunch of different stuff. Mail day, box openings, stuff like that. Just do like a massive rip. I've got 4 boxes of Marvel Platinum 92 masterpieces, whatever the hell the name of that set is, up on the website right now. If you want to buy a box, I can have the boxes shipped to you now before I even get home because the wife and daughter can ship them out. I think I have those at 220 there. But if you want me to rip them on the stream on the 4th, use this code and you get $10 off. Rip and ship. That lets me know that you want to have me rip it on the stream on the 4th. So I got 4 boxes there if you guys are interested in that. I'm going to try to get as many Matriarch boxes as I can to possibly do some digi breaks with you guys. If you want to do that, like 2 boxers and have them be like 35 bucks a spot. I'm not I don't want to make I'm not looking to make money on them. That's not my goal. I have the website because it's a way for me to like avoid paying taxes if I make a good amount of money on cards for the year, selling the stuff that I don't keep. So anything not domino, it helps me offset some of those taxes. So you know, if I get boxes in and I can do something with you guys while I'm at home, we'll do that and we'll have a little bit of fun, because hobby hangout, right? We're hanging out. But definitely go over, support the local comic book shops. I Want More Comics is a great one to support. He's a hobby archival in the chat here right now, but um, head over, check him out on Whatnot. He's also on Instagram. I believe he has a YouTube channel as well. He doesn't do a lot on the YouTube. Usually it's Instagram or Whatnot. If you're in the Denver area, North Denver area, swing by a shop, check it out. It's on the backside of the little plaza he's in. The GPS took me to the front side, and we're like, "Where's the card shop?" It's around to the backside, but it's a nice shop. He's got all kinds of different stuff, different genres, sculptures, games, TCG, Pokemon, Marvel, DC stuff, comic books, everything. So video games, whatever you need there for your nerding out and your collecting, he has it. So definitely check him out if you're in the Denver area. But that's all I got tonight, guys. Um, yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy other holidays if you're celebrating those. Stay safe, drive safe. If you're driving, if you're drinking, do not drive. Get a ride because I want to see you here in the new year. So a lot of crazy people out there. Jakey, what's up, buddy? I don't know if you're just popping in or if you got to see the stream, man. But we just went over the Matriarchs checklist. So if you just popping in, just go back, rewatch it again. Merry Christmas, everybody. Take care. Have a good night. See ya.